looking at the FCS level, where they actually do have playoffs like every other level of football ever played, Illinois State didn't get in, and the commissioner of the Missouri Valley, Patty Viverito, said this was the most disappointing day in the history of the football conference.
Wow. And
is she right or wrong? She's right. I don't think so.
I think she's overreacting, but in a certain sense, yeah. I mean, they had 4 teams that could have made it, 5 teams that could have made it. You have Youngstown not win. They lose to Missouri State. They're out.
You got to beat Missouri State.
Yeah, and then you have
Indiana State.
You have Indiana State loses to Southern Illinois.
Got to beat them. You're out.
And Illinois State, their win that they were hanging everything on was Indiana State. Well, Indiana State loses. Illinois State doesn't beat anybody else in the field. You're out.
Illinois State, they lose to UNI in double overtime.
Yep.
If you win that, you're in. Yep. It's very simple how this works. You win games, you get to the playoffs. You go 7-4, probably not.
And then if you make the playoffs and win games, you go further into the playoffs.
Yeah, and Illinois State did not play a FBS school during the season. That hurt them. I mean, yeah, they only finished the season with 4 losses, but it goes back.
They would have lost that game anyway.
Yeah, it goes back to what happens every single year. If you want to make the playoffs, you got to have 8 wins. That's the only way you know you're going to get in. And Indiana State, they beat Western Kentucky by FBS team. They finished 6-5. They didn't have a case unless they beat Southern Illinois. It comes back to you got to get it done at the end of the year, and they did. So.
Right side for South Dakota State is they're now tied with the 2 teams you mentioned earlier that lost. Because I remember last week just looking at the standings for the heck of it and seeing Indiana State and then Youngstown State was the other one, I think. And then seeing, if they both lose, or South Dakota State would be tied with them in the rankings, and looked and saw, they played Missouri State and Southern Illinois. I was like, well, that's not going to happen. Yeah. And then, of course, I checked Saturday night at like 8 o'clock and was just like, apparently it was the weekend of craziness in the Missouri Valley.
Yeah, so Jack's finished tied for 4th.
Well, typically Missouri Valley is getting 2, 3, no more than that. So I guess in that sense, the amount of bids, I don't think is anything.
You said last week they're going to get.
I said last week that I thought it would be 2. Part of that is sort of based on. Basically, I don't think Illinois State is really that good. Now, I didn't see them play this year, but in comparing them to last year, they brought a lot of pieces back. I thought it didn't pass the eye test for me. And then also, how their schedule played out, they didn't have an SBS team. 7 wins is fringe level. So I think, if you're on the fringe and they were kind of a bubble team and they were out, well, so what? That probably happened to a couple other teams too, but. They look at it as, the Colonial, the CAA, that's the top, and then you have everybody else. That's kind of how they're pretty much looking at it, and so that's how you get, 5 Colonial teams in, and everybody else gets 2 or 3.
I just wish there was a bowl system so that Illinois State could play Old Dominion.
Yeah.
Exactly. I want to see them play Old Dominion.
Say what you want.
I know.
A lot of people would enjoy watching that. Yeah. Not at the same level because there's not as many FCS fans, unfortunately.
I have 2 gripes from Sunday's announcement. One is that the Colonial gets 5 teams. I understand that they're a great conference, but they should not make up a fourth of the field. They should not. They shouldn't. 4 bids is fine, but
Who's the one team that you say probably not?
Well, I mean, I guess I can't sit there and say
but
5 is too many. I think it's kind of evidenced by the fact that Towson, a team with 1 win last year, has 9 wins this year. They win the conference, and I'm kind of predicting an early exit for Towson. That's inside. Number 2 is
Towson out.
Number 2 is that Delaware. That on the show they're making the case that Delaware should be in the tournament. They had 7 wins, 6 against. Division I opponents. No team has ever made it with 6 Division I wins. Delaware is not going to make it. It's a precedent that's been set. You're not going to make it. There's already 5 teams from the Colonial.
Unless you went to your conference.
Right.
They did not.
That's just being blinded by the blue of the Blue Eagles.
Yeah.
No, what it is.
Even more blue.
Yeah. It's just very nearsighted to say, well, they have Joe Flacco and they have Pat Devlin and they have 7 wins and they should be in the tournament.
What it is them not having a damn clue about FCS, and this is the one day all year that they say anything about it. You saw some prevalent people on ESPN be asked a couple weeks ago, there's a 1 versus 2 matchup in the FCS, or 2 versus 3. North Dakota State and Northern Iowa. And I asked them, who is that matchup? And they said they have no idea. So ESPN,
I would give Kirk Street credit though.
No,
he at least knew that Georgia Southern.
Go screw yourself.
He mentioned them.
Nice.
He mentioned Georgia Southern,
That him
knowing
right.
that they were ranked number 1 at the time or whatever.
Well, that's nice.
So he gets like 10% credit.
Herb Street, he's a smart guy.
And apparently he's going to be a coach at Ohio State with Urban Meyer.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
quickly to wrap it up, Thanksgiving, what are the plans? What do you usually do? And what are you doing this year? I'm staying at home. You usually stay at home, eat the turkey.
I will be making a triangle between Brookings, Lee Center, Minnesota,
They said that.
and Laverne, Minnesota.
That triangle.
Make the triangle.
It's more of an isosceles.
So, Laverne is where the family will be at. That is not accurate.
This is Brookings.
That's not.
This is Lee Center. This is Laverne.
It is not geographically
Drawn
accurate.
to scale.
Okay, Laverne's probably up here.
It's near Sioux Falls. Anyway,
I know.
so
That's-
that kind of that makes up my weekend. There'll be plenty of football and fun and family, which is what's all.
Volleys is football for Drexler.
All of that.
I'm going home tonight to North Sioux City, and then on Wednesday we're driving down to Lincoln because that's where both my sisters are. One of them does not enjoy coming home, so we have to go there then.
Okay.
And then on Friday we're going to the Nebraska-Iowa.
Nice.
And Thursday I decided, sometimes people go around to the table on Thanksgiving saying what they're thankful for. I decided what better time, instead of doing that, to for the first time ask everyone in my immediate family, okay, hypothetical question. You are trapped in a Home Depot. And that is what we are going to talk about on Thanksgiving. I just decided right now.
Right. Charlie's easily having the best Thanksgiving.
Wrong, because you are a world traveler.
Yeah, I am
Going to see
a
Gorbachev.
Renaissance man. I'm going to Austria, and so I will be completely disconnected from everything that's going on in the whole college football world and in the world of basically everything else. So
Don't rack up the high Twitter beat overseas.
you're right. I gotta keep my
careful.
tweeting to a minimum. We'll see what happens, but no turkey for me. This is gonna be weird. I might never come back.
And just so you stay safe, I saw the movie Hostel once. If an attractive girl says, hey, let me show you something, you can say, I've seen this movie before. No, thank you.
And say it like that. Say, I've seen this movie before.
And I am staying in a hostel, so that is very good advice. Thank you for your.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
We wish you nothing but the best.
Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Hope you've enjoyed this edition of the Sports Lounge. This one, there you go. Nice,
And this is where you
commercial
need
piece.
to put in a thing that says only $75 to buy.
Behind the scenes.
Travis
Behind the
Kriens at this
scenes
number.
of
Yeah.
Sports Lounge, bonus features, got audio commentary on here.
Director's cut.
Director's cut. A lot of unedited, unrated stuff on this disc.
You will be offended.
You'll be possibly offended. Please pick up a copy.
You
if
are
you can.
lens. It has not been rated.
He'll make a copy for you
Yeah.
Definitely
in stores
That
now.
means anything.
Pick
then.
it up.
contribution.
Right. Travis Kriens throws this at the camera, and that's his opinion of ESPN. This is my opinion of ESPN.
Hold on, I want to get it.
This is my opinion of ESPN, right here. Good night.
ESPN.
Oh! Bingo!
All right, that needs to go online now. You made that on the first take.
So good. There we go. And it's on record.
I don't want to make this sound like I didn't have faith in you making it. I thought it was low odds you were going to make it.
This is deleted scene on the show. Bingo at the end of it.
Very good. This is our video.
There we go.
First take. Make that note. First
One
take. One take, Drew. One take, Amity.
Clint Sargent, you have been surpassed.
One up.
You've been deemed irrelevant.
So
nice.